I got my own Tumblr.
Welcome to Coffee and Commerce Chats with Prigge-Taylor of Coldwell Banker Central. So I'm here to talk to you today about why a purchase might be extended, so why there might be a closing modification. In the time that we're in right now, there are so many different moving pieces that can affect the closing period. A lot of times, you'll see closing periods somewhere between 30 and 60 days, right? And we all start out with the absolute best of intentions when we create those closing periods, but there are so many moving pieces at any given time that all it takes is a couple different things to not fall in line, and all of a sudden, it's time to do a closing modification. So I want to explain this because I realize that it's super frustrating for buyers, especially first-time buyers, because you don't have any experience in the market. You haven't done this before. And I know it can be frustrating for sellers because that does change your next steps moving forward. So where are a couple areas that things can kind of go amok? Things can go amok all over the place, and it just depends on what happens. And it doesn't mean it's going to be a bad thing. It just means it might take a few more days. So something that could happen, let's say you're doing the inspection and there's something that warrants additional inspection. The boilerplate language in the purchase and sale in the inspection addendum is that you can give notice of 5 additional days for inspection so that you can bring in, let's say, a contractor to inspect electrical if there's something wrong there. That extra 5 days, especially if you're gonna negotiate for repairs, modifications, which is on a 3-day timeline. Well, wait a second, that's 11 extra days, right? And what if your inspection period was 10 days? All of a sudden, inspection has spanned over the course of over 3 weeks. So if you were on a 45-day close, it doesn't take a genius to know you don't have as much time left in order to get the appraisal scheduled, get a due date back, and for the appraiser to get in there and get it done. And that's if you're lending. That's a different tangent. And then for the lender to have time to finish all of their final docs, underwriting, get that back, get it to escrow. Escrow needs to do a signing. There's other pieces that cannot fall in line. And let's say that your home doesn't appraise at value, or the appraisal comes back and states that there are some safety and environment conditions that need to be remediated. That can also extend your closing date. Now, the big thing that I want to highlight is that just because your closing date gets pushed out a little bit, it's super common right now, especially with appraisal turn times. So please don't be disheartened. Plan accordingly. If you're gonna find yourself, I'm not gonna say out on the streets, that's really intense, but there are solutions as far as if there is gonna be a living gap, friends, family, maybe staying at a hotel for a little bit. I know, not ideal, storage unit. Going camping, there can be different ways to remediate that little gap. And most people are fairly flexible. So, in summary, in this market, we're seeing a lot more closing modifications. You've got people in your corner that are doing everything that they can to make sure that all the different moving parts are respecting your timeline as best as possible. So just know that if we have to bump out a couple days, everyone is sorry, everyone hates it, including you. So we're all in the same boat there. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Coffee and Commerce Chats with Prigge-Taylor of Coldwell Banker Central. If you have questions about the buying or the selling process, by all means, hit me up, send me a message, or give me a call, or shoot me an email. Or a message in the sky. I would be really, really ecstatic if I got a new client via message in the sky. Have a good rest of your day, you guys.